Hello, everybody. So, today, first of all, let me introduce myself. If this is your first video that you're seeing of me, my name is Courtney Larae. I am a wife, a mom, a sister, a daughter, entrepreneur, hairstylist, all of the above, right? So, I started this vlog just because I wanted to, Gary Vaynerchuk. Look him up, Gary V on YouTube. So I started this vlog because let me stop messing my glasses. I kind of just wanted to document kind of like the trials and tribulation, the growing pains, the everyday life of becoming 40. So it's been a very I'm saying, no. It's more been as a child and kind of knowing where you want to be as a kid. So when I was a kid, there were some certain things that I wanted to do. So when I was younger, I always wanted to have my kids early. If I was going to have children, I wanted to have them by 25, right? So I am currently 28. I had my last little sugar baby when my birthday is August the 16th. He was a newborn when I turned 25, right after, because his birthday is August the 21st. So he capped off my 25. I wanted to get married kind of early only because I knew kind of the path that I wanted to take in my life, and so I wanted somebody who was going to be able to be with me to share that experience. So I did that. Got married when I was 9. I was 20. He was 21, and so we're still married. And we've been together. 10 years this year. We've been together since 2005, the end of 2005 school year, going into 2006 school year. And we were seniors. And we've been married for 8 years this September, right? So today I kind of wanted to talk about vision and what that means. What is the macro and what is the micro, right? So micro meaning small. What are the small things that you have planned to get to the big thing, right? So the focus long term should be whatever your ultimate focus, your ultimate picture in your head, the lasting picture is your macro. Like, this is where I want to be, right? So then you take all the micro things and you line them up where they're achievable, and you micro all the way till you get to your macro. That's how it works. But it works like that on paper a little bit better. So you know how you have like them little charts, and it has like the mapping charts, but it has the dots. So what I'm documenting is everything in between the dots. There's a lot of things that are in between the dots that people don't talk about. People don't talk about maybe getting a divorce as a part of that, or having another child. Like, what steps do you take in between there? There's so many things. A death in the family. Maybe your mother died. Maybe your child. Maybe, there's so many things that change, or not even change, but make your dot-to-dot distance either like this or either like that. So if you don't have kids and you just work a regular job and you just have these little things, your dot-to-dot should be like this. But if you're getting started a little bit later, maybe like I said, I'm 28, but usually like around, I would say the timeline, like around, like if you were in your 50s, your parents would be older, they'll be elderly, they might be sick, they might be, not being able to take care of their selves, that type of thing. So your dot to dot might look like this, right? Because you got your work schedule, you got medicine, you got, whatever goes in between there. If you still have kids that live in your home, if you have kids that live in your home with their kids, like it's just a little bit different. You know what I mean? So today I just want to kind of talk about how to achieve those goals. So what you want to do for number one of all is find out what is your macro, like what's your big picture, what's that look like for you. It could be tons of different things, and for everybody it's not just money. You know what I mean? It's not just I want to be a millionaire and then what, like how you gonna keep the million. You know what I mean? Like it has to be something that's realistic, something that's sustainable. So for some, for me, what that looks like is I definitely want to have money in the bank. I don't want to have no debt. I don't want my kids to have any debt. I want them to have their own money in their bank accounts. So they're collecting interest. I want to be able to have multiple streams of income, right? Because my major goal is to, at 45, to be near retirement or be in a place where I can do whatever the heck I want to do. If I want to go on a 6-month vacation, so long, farewell. I'm staying in Hawaii, or I'm staying in Japan, or I'm staying in Okinawa, or I'm staying wherever for these next 3 to 6 weeks, months. If I want to stay here for the year, if I want to take this camper and I want to travel around the United States for the 2020, that's what I'm doing. I want to be in a place that I can do that, and that's a realistic thing. You know what I mean? It's not just what we see on TV. It's a real place, but you have to work to get there. Now you just ain't gonna get it. Just can't. Nobody's gonna hand it to you. I mean, there are a select few, but then they have trouble keeping it because they don't know how, right? Because they didn't go through the process. So the process is very, very important. Don't try to abort the process. Don't try to do things that make the process shorter or less uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is a part of the process. Being broke is a part of the process of business. I mean, it just is what it is. Trial and error is a part of the process. So most definitely put all those things in between your dot, because that's what's going to get you to the next place, right? So figure out your macro. What does that look like for you? Does it just look like money in the bank? Does it just look like not being able to work, not having to work? Because I have established these multiple streams of income, and now I just want to stay home. There's maybe some older people who just want to be able to enjoy their grandkids. Like, that's a real place. Like, I just want time freedom. I just want to go fishing all day for the rest of my life. I just want to go fishing. Just simpleness, it doesn't have to be, I want the Benz, I want the Versace, I want the Miu Miu. No, it don't even have to be all that. It just simply just give me some regular Nikes so I can just go out here and go fishing. Like, I'm going to have the bomb fishing equipment, or I'm just going to have the bomb golfing equipment, or whatever it is that you desire. So, for me, multiple streams of income, but in things that I love, because whatever I'm doing, I most definitely want to be a part of it. So if it's hair, I'm a cosmetologist. I'll be opening my salon soon. Yay! Yeah, so if it's for me. So for me, it's it'll probably be something in the hair or fashion. Maybe medical, because we know medical's always making money. People are always dying. People are always sick. People are always having babies. People are getting surgeries. That's just America, and that's going to be for the rest of our life. So if that's something that you're interested in investing in, that is a great investment. So I definitely want to invest in stocks, invest in gold, invest in real estate. You definitely want to do your research on what it is that you want to do. Make sure you know what the market outlook looks like. for what you want to do. Don't just be like, oh, I want to invest in rollerblades. Well, people just not doing that no more. I mean, you could. It'd be a niche market, but you definitely want to have a residual, right? So, for a second, I just want to, that's my micro, right? So let's just talk about no, that's my macro. So let's talk about my micro. What does that look like? So for me right now, it's very, very simple. I don't have a vehicle. I'm doing a lot, yeah, but I don't have a vehicle. So I'm going to be doing that in the morning. Thank you, Lord. I'm going to be buying me a car in the morning. And I got a van. It's $1,500. I was like, Lord, I just need to have little miles. Let it last me a year and a half, where I can work, do what I need to do. I have 2 kids. I more so got a van because I'm a cosmetologist. I always have equipment with me. I'm always moving stuff around. I'm always just big-bodied things. So why not? I didn't get to get what I wanted, which was a Buick, but it's okay. It's neither here nor there. I'm still saving money. My budget was $2,000. I'm getting it for 15, so I'm happy. I'm happy, right? And then after that, then I can start renovating my salon. So just very small steps. But I mean, even before I got here, the step between having no money to get a car and waiting for my taxes was, I mean, it was a really, my dot to dot was huge. It took me like, let me see, last May. I just started working last May. Before that, I hadn't worked in 3 years. So that was huge. That's a huge gap, not being able to work for 3 years, talking about I really want to get me a car. How? With what? How you gonna pay for insurance? You don't have no income, right? So I started working. I was Ubering, and so I stopped working, left that, and I decided that I'm just gonna have my own. And so now I'm trying to work between my 2 dots. So I stopped working in September, but I still had to wait September, October, November, December, January, February. So that was like, what's that, 5 months? September, October, November, December, January, February. Yes, 5 months. 5 months of waiting. It took me 5 months to get from 1 dot to 1 dot, and really right now it's March, so it's 6 months of waiting because it's the middle of March, and I'm just now being able to find a vehicle and get it tomorrow morning, right? And I'm just going to look at it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it tomorrow, or if that's going to be able to vehicle, or if that's going to be able to be the vehicle that I'm going to get, right? So patience. Right? Patience. And so what do you do in between your dot to dot? You plan like heck. You research like heck. You do everything that you could possibly do to fill that time, because you don't want to waste time. Now, did I waste 6 months? Was I just sitting home, not doing nothing, waiting for my tax money to come in for me to find a car, to get a car? Absolutely not. I'm up planning hard too, like talking to people, finding out how much things cost. How much does my POS system cost? How much is it going to cost me for the month? How much is it going to cost me for the year? How much is my expenses? What all do I need? How much is that going to cost for me to be able to renovate my salon? I got a lot of work to do up there. I got to put down floors. I got to fix the walls. I got to put sinks in. That's plumbing. Thankfully, I thank the Lord Jesus Christ of heaven and earth that my husband is an electrician, so I don't have to worry about labor. I just have to buy my materials, right? And because I'm a nifty person, I'm going to find those at the cheapest rate possible. And on top of that, with the internet, it shouldn't be hard for you to be able to do that. Why? Because you got Facebook Market people selling stuff on. You got Poshmark. You got Wish, you can buy stuff. Amazon. I mean, just endless of resources where you can, purchase what you need for cheap. You don't have to buy the top of the line whatevers or you can get the top of the line used and it just look just as good, or you can get something and paint it. Like, Pinterest is queen. Pinterest is queen. You can figure out how to do anything on Pinterest and dang on YouTube. I'm gonna need you guys to research and get it together, right? There's no excuses. There's no excuses for why we can't reach our macro. We didn't reach our macro because we were lazy and because we got frustrated and we quit. That's why we didn't reach our macro. It's nobody else's fault. Nobody else can hinder you from going where you desire to go, because only you can go where you want to go, right? Nobody else can come and put my shoes on talking about they're going to be able to fulfill my vision. You'll never be able to do that. That's what makes you different, right? The last video, be different. You make you different. Your personality makes you different. The way that you think makes you different, because people aren't going to think the way that you think. That's what makes you creative. That's what makes you likable. That's what sets you apart from being like everybody else. Like me personally, I don't like being like everybody else. Even if I do the research and I find out, man, I have this idea, but somebody else had the same idea. They might be in another state, but still, how can I make mine better? How can I make it different? How can I take it up a notch? Like, what's going to set me apart in the market? We talked about this. Cosmetologist field is huge, oversaturated, right? And there's tons of people. There's tons of customers everywhere, right? You see customers every day. Everybody has hair. And everybody does something with their hair, and there's something that everybody doesn't like about their hair, right? Everybody don't like something. You might have a cowlick in the back, cowlick in the front. My hair is too blonde. My hair is too thin. It's too dark. It's too gray. That's just people. People are people, right? That's what makes us different. That's what makes us different. So what are you going to do? Right? So your homework is to find out what your macro is, right? And then what are your micro dots? And then how you're going to fill the space in between to make sure that you create a bridge to your next dot. How can we do that? What are we going to do? What does that look like for me? What do those steps look like for me? I know for me it's a little bit different because I kind of sort of have two careers, and so it's really tricky for me most of the time, because I am a gospel recording artist. So that's a really big, not big, but it's a high demand position. Just like being a salon owner is a high demand position. Like when you start in a salon, most of the time you're going to be in there by yourself, unless you can find some, other people who can come in there with you. But most of the time it's just you. And so it's a lot. It's a lot on me, but the crazier my life is, the just easier it is for me to organize. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but it just works for me that way. It kind of puts me in a place where I have to schedule and I have to organize and I have to manage my time, and I have to, because I don't have an option. So when I have an option not to do or to be as organized, oh my goodness, if I have an option to be lazy, I'm going to sleep all day long, because I like sleeping. It's good to me. I like to sleep. It's nice. You know what I mean? The kids are away from me or still sleep, and it's really nice to be able to sleep, right? But I try my hardest not to do that, right? So that is it for tonight. I'm not going to keep on ranting and raving, but find out what your macro is and figure out your micro steps, and then figure out what you're going to do until you get to your next step. Peace.